and this is episode 42 of the OotiniCast. This is the raw version of the show. This is the raw version of the show. And it goes out with all flaws and flubs intact, and then we clean up the audio, put it out as a podcast tomorrow, and the raw video version will go out as a YouTube video later today. But we do this on twitch.tv/OotiniCast live. So, and Kitty, is your Audacity rolling?
Audacity's rolling, baby.
Sweet. I just checked mine. It's going too. We're good. And since that is going, I'm going to put this down in the corner where I usually keep it. I always put baby in the corner. And
nobody puts baby in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in the corner. Let me go ahead and tweet this out then, I guess.
Okay.
All right. And let's see. 482.
What is that?
What's up?
Oh, it's just a picture of someone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know how easy it is to be distracted.
Yeah. Shiny! Also, Cal, today in Tor.
Okay, I got it tweeted out.
It's got such great stuff all the time.
Uh-huh.
We should
was he the one?
We can get him and come and join us. We haven't had a guest in a while.
We haven't had a guest in a while. We really should get one. And Cal, okay, is that the new one? Or is that, are you talking about someone else?
No, it's old school Cal.
Oh, okay. Because there's also that new SWTOR channel that's doing stuff on YouTube. So he seems pretty nice too. And he does quite a few videos. So I'm not sure if he'd be interested, but we could check it out. Yeah. All right. So if you're ready, Kitty, we're kind of...
I'm ready, babe.
All right. I'm ready. And going in 5. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast, the podcast that sincerely has absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Honest. This is episode 482, being recorded on Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. I'm your host, Jill. With me is my co-host, KittyKissz. Hey, Kitty.
Hey, Jill.
You've probably heard that line if you've played the Smuggler story anytime recently.
Okay.
The Smuggler loves to say that. Yeah, especially.
I don't remember who it was from.
Yeah. That's the Smuggler says it on several occasions, actually,
okay.
Depending on what choices you make, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's
one of those.
Yeah, it's one of those you might not hear because it is one of those things that she says when she's just trying to pretend, lie her way out of a situation. So if you just tell the truth or attack or whatever, you're probably not going to hear it.
I bet there's a lot of people that haven't heard it then.
That'll be like, but yeah. All right. So what you been up to?
Well, I have been leveling my Sith Marauder, KittyKissz.
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't even remember the name of her. Anyway, it's irrelevant. I got her up to level 75. Okay. So just popped in her tactical, which is great. Always nice to kind of in between level, what is it? 76 to 78. It's kind of no man's land. You don't really get much.
Right.
So getting that little thing, you're like, yay.
Yeah, the tactical always feels good.
Mm-hmm. And then she didn't just get into coffee, but she's in coffee. And I'm playing her as what would Darth Bane do as far as, when I'm making the decisions and stuff like that. So,
okay. Yes, that's right. I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, there's different parts of the Bane trilogy that different perspectives that he has while his arc happens.
Right, that makes sense. Because, he definitely evolves. Because he doesn't even know he's force sensitive and he's an adult when he sort of goes down the path. So
right.
Mm-hmm.
So just as I entered into coffee, I decided, okay, this is where my character is going to kind of get the rule of 2 going.
Cool.
So she's like, screw the Empire, screw the Sith. We're just going to do the rule of 2. And so she's kind of looking at it as Valkorion is the master. and she is going to be, kind of learning everything she can until she kills him,
right?
And then she is going to take on an apprentice, so
right. And try to kill all the other Sith.
Yep, I'm gonna go saboteur.
I was gonna say,
mow through them.
Right, because if you go saboteur, first of all, that's very very rule of two, because you do end up going against the Empire, and you can't have the chance to kill certain Sith at least. Mm-hmm. And I like that. That's really awesome.
You can get a lot of them too, so that's going to be cool. And what was I forgot?
Do you have in mind who your apprentice will be already?
I was thinking Lana, but I don't know if there's you get that deep into the Lana story, or you don't. There's not really a part of Lana's story that would be
that's not just your
similar
story.
to that. Yeah,
right.
So I don't know. Maybe Zelek, because after all this stuff, you can go get Zelek back,
right?
And he's like, he's a butt kisser. So that'd be like, he is totally into being Sith. He loves it. Yes. Whereas, what's her name? The Twi'lek that you get, she's still good. So when we go get her back, I don't think it's going to end well for her. I think our character's just going to be like, you're dead. So I'm not sure. We're going to have to wait and see.
I don't know if I've ever seen that version before, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I don't know if you actually get to kill her,
or if you just kind of exile her, essentially. We'll see.
I hope so.
Let me know next time, because that actually sounds really awesome.
Because this character is all about Bane. She's kind of in that last phase of what Bane is all about. So, which is the rule of two, and of course that means that the master holds all the power, and the apprentice wants the power, and eventually the apprentice needs to kill the master in order to become the master.
And ending the situation where there's hundreds and hundreds of Sith.
Right. So another thing that I'm going to be doing with her is, because she's going to be saboteur and she's going to get an option to join the Empire. She's not. She's going to stay separate. And
that makes sense too.
She doesn't want to have anything to do with the Sith. So, and then another thing that I'm kind of hoping for is that later on down the line, when they kind of conclude the saboteur story, I'm hoping that you can become a double agent and kill a bunch of pubs, because that's what she would do. Totally. What's up, Gogus? So anyway, I'm looking forward to all that stuff. There's some things that I haven't seen yet that I'm hoping to get to see. And she's going to run through everybody in Kofi and Kotet too. She's going to kill everybody.
So
can't wait for Koth.
Right. So Arkin will be dead, and Senya will be dead.
All of them. And it sucks because I space Barbie all of them. So, well, I guess that's good, because I consider it a fashion faux pas if my character is wearing something that another character is wearing in the game. So that would open up some new outfits for my character. Even if I go into a flashpoint and somebody else has an outfit, even if it's just the top, I change it.
You change. Interesting.
That's a fashion faux pas. That's not acceptable with the Nightmare Mode Space Barbie guidelines. Another thing I've been doing, I've been leveling implants on multiple characters.
Oh, okay.
With lots of characters.
To the gold character? To the gold versions? Or are you still just doing purples, or?
No.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of augments. You're thinking okay. You actually said.
Oh yeah.
I had the wrong word in my head. Yeah, the implants, which do take a long time to level up. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because when you get them to 340, that's, what is it, 6,000 or something crazy like that, or 4,000?
We have to get on one character.
A lot.
Yeah, when you get one character to the 340, you'll get another you'll get another achievement, and then it'll unlock the 2,500 versions. So get it on one character first.
Are you serious?
Yeah, get it on one character first.
Oh, because I got one 340, and then I've been getting them up to,
Yeah, but you have to have two to get the achievement. Sorry.
Oh, you need two? Okay.
You have to be wearing two 340s on a character.
That's easy. I got that.
Okay, good, because you can move one over, or... Yeah, Good.
Yeah, because they're all legacy bound. So
yeah, they're legacy bound, and as long as you have 2 force ones or whatever, you should be able to figure out someone who can wear 2 of them.
I always have the.
You'll definitely save some.
I was like, crap.
It's so
that's
brutal,
gonna take
isn't it?
forever.
Yeah,
but now, all right, good news. Tip of the week, you guys.
Yeah, there we go. We got our right tip there. Of the week.
But I like it. I like having something to do and look forward to, and both you and I being alcoholics.
Yeah,
that's a spicy meatball. So yeah, looking forward to it. Lastly, I am looking forward to the last season of Bad Batch. I really like Bad Batch. I think it was fun. Some folks are, don't really like it that much. But man, I loved it. I thought it was it's just so fun, and the character development in it is really good. The art is great. I'm loving it. And then this is the last season, so I'm gonna have some Kleenex available because I know it's gonna get
rough. Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna get sad.
But yeah,
probably.
But that's about it for me, Chill.
Okay.
I'll pass the torch on to you.
All right. Let's see. So we got a bunch of folks here. Let's see. Looks like Katie's Desperate is here. HAVDS, Desperate Girl, Donk 7, Drapsnat, Galaxy Junkyard, Caber 76 is here. Kidley's here. Cog Ass is here. Loveboat, Mark Zink, I guess is how you'd pronounce that. Riru's here. Squishy Twitchy as well. And Sukoxy. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And let's see. So what I've been up to, a lot of sort of leveling and gearing as well. On Starforge to do some PvP. I have been leveling Freddie Mercury character. He is a shadow tank. And really enjoying that. As the PvP has been really fun, actually. And I got him up to 70 today. And so what I did is he's all the way through Yavin 4, so he's going to be doing Xios next. Did some PvP up to 45, then had to put that on hiatus because, I didn't want to get just bodied by the, at level 46, or 45, 46, against people who are 78, 79. Right. So I just stopped until 60, and then I decided, you know what, let's give this a try. Because I kind of looked ahead on the tree, and it's like, unlike a lot of the DPS specs, there wasn't anything that really stood out to me as like super duper like mind-meltingly important. Like a lot of times there's stuff on the high part of the tree that really does change how the DPS specs work. But with the tank one, it's like, okay, I get a little more tanky and whatever, but it doesn't really change anything. It's not like, oh, okay, and all of a sudden this becomes my new, go-to damage button or whatever. Nothing like that. So at 60, I started doing it again, and it's going really well, actually.
Oh, cool.
No problems with survivability, getting pretty good numbers, really enjoying it. Something I didn't know was in the Shadow until I recently, not on this character, but recently did it again, is there's this one choice at level 43 where if you taunt someone, then anytime you do damage to them, you get a little bit of health back, which doesn't sound too exciting, and it's not meant to be like, overwhelmingly, powerful or anything. But what it does do is when you cast your cascading debris, which is your channeled, it would be lightning. It would be channeled lightning if you're doing the other version, the assassin version. But on this side, it's channeled, telekinetic rocks, basically. And but with every tick of that, you actually get 2% of your health back. So
oh crap!
Yeah. So instead of it, and the taunts last 6 seconds each, and it counts whether it's the single version or the multi version. And so you can taunt someone, and for the next 4 globals, you can get some heals, and then you can AoE taunt and do the same thing. But instead of just every global, while you're doing the channeling of the cascading debris, which has a pretty short cooldown of 6 seconds, so you can do it a couple times during this whole thing, you're getting 4 ticks of that, of 2% healing instead of just 1 tick. So
interesting.
Yeah,
so
it has more. Well, it doesn't stack, but it ticks more often, and it counts every time it ticks.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So yeah, over that 2 seconds, or it's actually 3 seconds, is 2 globals. 3 seconds of casting that you're doing, you're getting 4 ticks of damage, and so you're getting 8% of your health back. Assuming you don't get interrupted or stunned or whatever, but that happens a lot. But on the other hand, it's a 6-second cooldown, so even if they do interrupt it or stun or whatever, it's back right away. So it doesn't feel too awful when that happens.
What's the cast time on it?
Like I said, it's a channel, and it's a 3-second channel. So
so
of the 6 seconds, if you don't get interrupted, it's actually taking up half of your time, half of your globals. Yeah. So it's like channel for 2 globals, do another ability, do another different ability, and then go right back to channeling it again. Right. And so you're doing it a lot, and because of that, like as long as you keep them taunted, which is really doing good at forcing me to become really good at my taunting, because usually I've done a lot of PvE tanking. That's my history in the game. I did operation tanking for the first like 3 or 4 expansions, and so I get in the habit of just using it when I really need the threat. But with this, I don't want to do that. I want to be taunting constantly. And it actually works really well, not just for solo, but also for PvP. Because that way I'm also taunting a lot in PvP. And even if they're already focusing me and I'm not gaining the damage reduction, at least I'm gaining some health back when I'm damaging them. So it feels really good. And it's kind of interesting because like there's no other, neither of the other 2 tanks in the game have anything quite like that. They do have better general healing abilities, like with their cooldowns. Like Enraged Defense is an amazing defensive healing ability, and there's sort of a similar one, not quite as powerful, but there's a similar one for the bounty hunter / trooper. But there's really no defensive healing ability for shadow tanks. It's all damage reduction. It's all sort of like blocking damage, but there's no way to get healing back. So this sort of like taunting and then damaging to get health back is actually a really nice mechanic. Yeah. And I don't know how well it would work in operations, because actually in operations you don't want to be taunting all the time. You do want to be sort of like, and you do need to hold your taunts sometimes for like tank swaps and grabbing ads and all that sort of thing. So it wouldn't really work very well for operations, but for solo stuff and for PvP it's actually really cool, and it totally changes the way you play the character too. So I've been really enjoying that.
That's really cool. And once I know, for me, when I come across something like that in a build, it makes it so much more fun.
Yes.
Because it's like a little extra ability that's not on any other kind of character that makes it feel very unique.
Yes. And this feels totally unique because of that. If you ever want to play a tank, give it a try. It's a lot of fun, actually. Because I always go Shadow or Assassin on my Force users anyway, so wouldn't hurt. Yeah.
Every time you talk about this stuff, I'm like, ooh, I want to play that. And then somebody talks about something else, I'm like, ooh, I want to play that.
I know what you mean. Well, actually, because that's the next thing I was going to talk about is off the stream, like in the evenings and stuff, I've been doing a lot of dailies, and I've been focusing actually mostly on the Coruscant dailies, and I was literally up to 14 characters every day doing Coruscant dailies 14 times every day. And I got it down so that whether they were stealth or not, I could get them done in about like 10 minutes, including like the time to get to Coruscant, the time to pick up the missions, the time to travel between, to get back and clean up inventory and all that, like 10 minutes, and some of them a little bit faster than that. But yeah, it was getting to be quite a grind. But because of that, I got to see a lot of specs. Because I was just basically pulling out all these old characters that were Republics, that happened to be Republic side and happened to be 70 or higher, so they could get the little boxes, so I could get all the remnants sets together. So and I was actually having a lot of fun because you mentioned the innovative ordnance spec the other like an episode or two ago. And it turns out like my Peter Quill cosplay character is using that spec, and it's actually I agree, it's totally fun. That's a really fun spec.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. And I found
it's really different.
Yeah, I like it a lot because it's like you can get you get really good burst, and then after the burst they're still dotted, so like they're still taking damage. Like a lot of the burst specs, it feels like, okay, I do the burst and it's like, okay, now I'm just doing this filler crap until like my burst rotation comes up again.
Right.
But not so much with the dot spec, because like you can they keep ticking damage on them. It feels really good, actually.
Yeah.
It takes, and you were also right in that it takes a while to get used to. It's not, a lot of the dot specs are pretty straightforward, you know, relatively. It's usually like there's a couple of dots, there's something that improves your dots, and then you just do that. And then there's some other fillers for the globals, but it's like, it's pretty straightforward. This one is like, there's a lot more to it because there's some weird procs and all that stuff. Anyway,
exactly.
Cool spec.
It's a cool spec. It's a, damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. The other spec that I've really been enjoying is actually for solo stuff. I don't know how much I would enjoy it in like, you know, operations or flashpoints or PvP even, but is it's Balance Seer or Madness Sork. So it's the dot spec, the ranged dot spec. I also tried like the close up, like the assassin shadow version. I didn't enjoy that as much personally, but the long range one, the non-stealth one, was really cool. And it does have that ability where you can choose, or you can not choose it and not do this, but you can take your project, your really big, or it's shock on the other side. It's the really big rock that gets thrown. It has like a 6-second cooldown. It increases the cooldown, but when you use it, it rips all the damage off of the current dots that you have on them and does it all the damage at once, that sort of thing. So you get this, so you have a dot spec again, but with some burst possibilities, which is really fun.
And I think you can stack that with a tactical or an implant as well once you get up there. So you really start.
It really starts hurting. Yeah. It really hurts. It really hurts when you use force potency too, because you get, you know, you crit on that damage, and yeah, it's a big hit, and they just go clonk. They just fall to the ground.
It's fun to watch it happen too.
Yeah.
Because you're like, all right, I got it on there, and then
yep,
all the numbers fly up.
And the nice thing is, because that increases the cooldown and you don't get to use it all the time. So, but the rest of the time, you also have that other option of, I think it's from the tactical. Yeah. Where you channel the cascading debris or whatever it's called on that side, or the channel the lightning. And it ticks the damage of one of the dots. So it's like you're getting kind of double damage while you're, you know, doing this channel. That feels pretty good too, actually. Anyway, so because of that, you can see I got like tons of different, you know, like I was doing like backstab, the backstab smuggler one, and a bunch of other specs that I don't normally get to hit a lot on. And had a lot of fun doing that. So I actually got the Remnant sets. I have them all done. I finally got it done on Monday. Like just 2 days ago, I finally got it done. And it was kind of crazy because like I was doing this like 14 characters a day, and of course they're all getting like conquest because I'm doing so much on them, you know, because I'm doing this every day on all these characters. So when I had the reset yesterday, it was like all these stuff was coming in. It's like, woo! I had to go to the fleet and buy down some stuff. Yeah. Woo! Felt really good. Awesome. I was having a ball there too. But I was getting a little tired of those four missions. But you know, it was really efficient and it felt really good. Right at the end though, on Monday, the last day, I only had one piece left, and of course, you know, it's one piece of armor on one set of all these sets in the Remnant. And so what I did is I also, on that last day, because I'd already gotten conquest, I already gotten 100,000 on basically everyone. And the ones that I didn't, I could, you know, easily get up there with, you know, little tricks, you know, like making that the one that I, you know, do first or whatever. Because, you know, there's daily stuff that you get every day. Right. And so what I did is I looked up on Swiderisa.com, and it's like, okay, so this piece of this set, and it actually it tells you on Swiderisa.com which one it drops from. So, right. Yeah, because unfortunately, if you look in the if you look in your collections inside the game, it doesn't really tell you where it comes from. But if you look at Swiderisa.com,
I got notes of what drops from where.
There you go. It turned out this one was the Baywan Ego, the military equipment. So I needed just that one, just the military equipment one. So what I did is I just went and I did like the same 14 people, but I just did that one mission that time. So and I got 14 of them, picked a character who had at least 14, inventory slots open, and as I was doing, and I've got so many like level 5 and 6 gifts now because of doing all this crazy stuff. Went to him, grabbed all the thing, and then I opened him up, and I didn't think I had gotten it, and then I realized, oh, that is the chess piece. Is that the one? It is, yay! And I sent it over to my special remnant character, and then unlocked it, and it's like it's like all unlocked now. No achievement, unfortunately, but it was still it was an achievement to me. It was totally worthwhile.
It's a slog.
Yeah, it took a long time. Yeah, totally. Like it would
be account wide.
Yeah, it would be better like if I was more into doing dailies on a regular basis, because usually it's like I have to have a reason to do something. Like that's why I like the story stuff so well, because the story gives me something to sort of like keep me interested in doing this or that or the other. I'm not really the kind of person who's just going to go back and just do dailies over and over and over again. Like I'm still like on Runic. I'm not all the way on my to the top on Runic reputation, let alone the newer Voss one and all that stuff. Like, and I'll get there eventually because I'll keep leveling characters past it and we'll get more reputation, or I'll whatever. So it'll happen, but I always have to have a reason. So this was like a reason for me to just do a bunch of dailies. So now I've got like all the remnants set, and I've got the tons and tons of level 5 and 6 gifts now. It's kind of crazy. And I know how to do those 4 missions really, really well. Like, I know exactly how to do that one. Yeah, it's like
how many steps your character takes during it.
Exactly. Like the military one happens to be the one where you have to get something in order to open up the instance that you go into. And so you have to kill a group. And once in a while, like people will go through there and just kind of wipe them out because they're just like going for the bonus, or maybe they just happen to be, killing guys because it's like, it's a heroic area. And like, if you want to get a bunch of experience, it's not a horrible way to do it at that level. If you're, capable of, if your character's strong enough. And so I know exactly which mobs I need to hit in order to get the drop. So like if there's other people in there, I know exactly where to go to look for someone who can actually, drop the thing I need to drop to get in the instance and all that crap. So yeah. All right.
Well, cool. Congratulations.
Thanks. So I felt really good actually. But it's not the sort of thing I wanted to stream because like, holy cow. Like, just doing this dailies over and over again. Like I was just like listening to music or audio or videos or whatever. I was not, it was not the sort of thing that would be terribly interesting to stream. So I did it off stream, but it was still really, really fun. Anyway. So really enjoying the Freddie Mercury Shadow Tank thing. I'm really looking forward to, getting him. Actually, the next 10 levels will be really fun just because we're after Zyos is the chapters. You get hardly any experience from chapters, so it'll give us a way to get some experience. And we'll get up to 80, and then I've got most of the set ready for him pretty much. And I've also been making some augments for him as well.
Okay.
And then we're gonna, and then it's just the implants after that. So I'm pretty much all set. It's looking really good. For this set, I've decided for the actual pieces, I went and actually chose the ones that had shielding for all the pieces. So all the pieces have shielding, and it's just going to increase. And then I'm just making purple augments because, that's sort of what I can make relatively easily.
Right.
And I'm going for the not the shielding and not the defense, but the other one that actually increases the amount that gets shielded, the absorb. Yeah, the one sort of increases the amount because I usually I'm totally avoiding that stat otherwise wherever possible. So the amount of absorb is going to be pretty low until I do the augments, and then I'm going to have 14 augments worth. So it'll add up to a reasonable amount, but I really do want to focus on shielding. You want to focus on shielding. Something I've been sort of learning about tanking that I don't know how I kind of got so far without really knowing it, but the defense works for 2 types of armor, but it's 2 types of damage, not all the types. Shielding actually works against all the types of damage, and that's what.
Oh, no way!
That's what makes it more important. I always had heard that it was more important, so I just kind of focused on it, but I didn't really realize the reason. Yeah, so it's basically like weapon damage, like white damage is protected by armor. It's also protected by defense. So defense is good against, if you're going up against someone who's going to use a lot of gunshots at you or whatever. Mm-hmm. But in PvP, there's tons of force and tech attacks. It's not just white weapon damage, and because of that, shielding is just better in general. So I'm going to get my shielding up as best as I can with the actual sets, and then I'll augment up in order to get the actual percent that's going to get reduced by the shields better. Cool. So yeah. All right.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Tip of the week.
Tip of the week. There's your tip of the week. Yeah. If you're, it's like it's hard. If you look at your stats, it's like it makes sense once you look at it, but it's like, yeah, it doesn't really click unless you really sort of have it spelled out for you. And I finally did on a guide or something. I think it was one of Volk's guides that sort of like finally spelled it out enough that I kind of got it. So,
sometimes it takes a little bit.
And then I look at the stats on the character sheet, because it tells you by damage type, and it's like, okay, I see it now. So it's like my kinetic one is a lot higher because armor works towards it. There's the armor, and there's the defense. So that's the amount that's going down from that. And then the other, like the energy one, doesn't go down as much because that's like force and tech tends to be like energy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So. But defense doesn't do anything against that, so that's why shielding. Okay. Anyway, that's why shielding is better.
Do you think that using star pars would help? Like being able to
probably
see that?
Would. I used to use it back in the day when I was doing operations, but I haven't had it installed for a long time. I'm not too worried about it because I think I have a general idea, and I know, especially on the shadow one, like just in terms of the damage you want to output, like it's all cascading debris. Like just do cascading debris every time you can. It's so much better than all the other abilities.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. Hey, Caber. So Caber is looking to try to get the remnant sets too. Yeah, it's true. It really does help to know which one they drop from. For a while, I was trying. When I had like 2 or 3 left, I was like just trying to keep an eye out for like one that dropped, that didn't happen to have, where it was from, or that I hadn't unlocked yet. And I was going to try to keep an eye on which box it came out of, but that wasn't really working for me. Like I never really got any information that way and then I finally got down to one, and it's like, okay, we need to know which one this is, so I just don't have to do 4 times the amount of missions for the one type of armor I'm going after. So and then I was like, does swordorisa.com/armor have that? And it does. It totally does. So it was really helpful.
Time saver, yeah. For sure.
So that's the tip of the week. Go to swordorisa.com, I guess. But but also about the tanking and stuff. But Kitty has a tip too. So Kitty, do you want to give your tip?
Yeah. So I noticed something today when I was looking at the new specular armor dies. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed that they seem to be a lot more pronounced when you put them on newer armor. For instance, armor that has been released recently.
Okay. So let's say like since Legacy of the Sith or something like that?
Yeah. Anything that they have put in, that they have created and made for sale, more recent, is going to be a lot more prominent when you use those specular dies, as for say something that came out when the game launched, like an armor set that came out when the game launched, because the newer stuff has so much more detail, and it just pops a lot better. Because I was trying it out on like the bounty hunter set that you get from doing the bounty hunter missions,
the class story, like
no from the event. You can get armor sets by doing the bounty hunter event.
Oh, the bounty hunter event.
You get the currency, and then I was like, this doesn't look very good.
Right.
And then I tried it on.
A while,
yeah, and then I tried it on something from the brand new, that set that's supposed to be like the Death Troopers, and it's just like it pops.
Okay.
Also, it looks really good on the Valkorian armor.
Ooh,
So
okay.
there's a lot of armors that it looks really good on, but I've noticed in particular that some of the older armors, it just doesn't look as good. So make sure you check before you pop it on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and the armors or the specular die sets, they're on sale right now on the Galactic or on the Cartel Market.
Nice. And I think you before the show you mentioned they're like 25% off, it looked like.
Yeah, it's like 15-20% off.
Cool.
I think the gold and white ones are 25% off, and the other ones are
a little less.
10-15. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But, yeah.
Nice, excellent. All right. Well, if you have a tip of the week, send it to your tips to OotiniCast@gmail.com before the next show for a chance to win a Tonfon M83R droid pet code or M2B9 droid code, and plus a 450 cartel coin code. And thank you to BioWare for the codes, of course. That'll bring us to the Mind Trap, and we asked, would you be willing to pay for an expansion of SWTOR, say something like Shadow of Revan? And we got quite a few votes, 309 votes. 82.5% said yes, actually, Kitty.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I would as well. And did you say yes as well?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did too.
Interesting that it was kind of overwhelmingly positive. I was a little surprised by that, actually. But some people did say, "Hey, no, I don't want to do that." But some people said, for example, I wouldn't mind if the system was more like in WoW, where if the content would be reasonable to expand the game and then expand on the characters, including new activities and so on.
Yeah, I asked this question in chat a couple times, just because Kitty Treats plays a lot of WoW. And I'm just kind of looking at how WoW treats their content, and they do have a sub, and then they do charge you for the X packs.
Right.
And it works really good, and their X packs are really large. And I asked my chat several times, like, hey, what do you guys think? Would you pay like $45 to $60 for an X pack the size of Shadow of Revan? And overwhelmingly people are like, yes, definitely, I would. And my hopes were that SWTOR would see this and maybe go, maybe we should consider that.
I mean, it would make sense. And of course, SWTOR has done that in the past. It's been a while.
Yeah.
For a long time now, the subscription has also unlocked all new content, including new expansions. But a couple of the first ones, were add-ons where you needed to actually pay for the expansion. So, yeah.
It would be kind of cool. And then, a year later or however long it is, they just make it, okay, your sub, now you get to play it. But
yeah,
just an idea. Just an idea. Because I was playing through Shadow of Revan the other day and going, there's so much here. There's so much to do.
Right.
I love it.
Yep. I agree. And there's the whole prelude to Shadow of Revan and everything with four flashpoints and then 2 more as you do Rishi, all that stuff. All right. So that sounds good. Yeah. I don't know what will happen in the future. And it's actually been, a while now because we've had Legacy of Sith for over 2 years, I believe now. And so it feels like, assuming that there's going to be another expansion, we have no confirmation one way or the other, but assuming there is, that hopefully would come, at least be announced pretty soon, but we'll see. I have no idea.
Just saying, BioWare 82.5%.
Yeah, potentially still interested. All right, so that'll move us. We are going to do a Cantina Talk this week. This is an occasional segment that we do sometimes where we pick out a voice actor from the literally hundreds who have voiced for SWTOR over the years. And we've talked about, I have a list. I keep the list up, but I don't. It's so long that we're not going to talk about all of them, the previous ones that we've hit before. But this time we're going to talk about Cree Summer. And Cree Summer actually hasn't, unlike some of these other voice actors that we've talked about, was not with the original SWTOR, but started in Knights of the Fallen Empire because she was brought in to voice Hylo Visz, the greatest smuggler adventurer in the galaxy, present company excluded, of course. And she has come back in every expansion since, both to voice Hylo Visz and, as so often happens, to do additional voices. Like, that's very, very typical for how SWTOR and other games do it. And but she's mainly for Hylo Visz. So She's actually been an actor since 1983. And that's actually it's starting with a pretty important role, that of Penny on 64 episodes of Inspector Gadget. So if you're a fan of Inspector Gadget from the 1980s, she was Penny in basically all of them. Hey. So that's pretty cool. So that was her very first role. I was kind of impressed when I looked on IMDb to sort of figure this out. And she's done some physical acting as well, but she mostly has done voice acting, even starting from the very beginning. I thought the most interesting one for me was that she was Princess Kida on Atlantis: The Lost Empire, the big Disney movie from this was like 1999 or something like that. And if you go back and you listen to Princess Kida, you can sort of hear how it's the same voice actor as Hylo Visz. She's definitely doing two different voices, but especially when Princess Kida does gets angry or something, you can really, she sounds a lot more like Hylo Visz at that point, which was really cool. She was on 58 episodes of Tiny Toon Adventures as Elmira Duff, the little redheaded girl, who's sort of the bossy one. If you've ever seen Tiny Toon Adventures, and she's also been the same character in related shows like Animaniacs. She showed up a few times there. She was on 65 episodes of Sabrina the Animated Series as Chloe. She was Max on Batman Beyond, 26 episodes. She was on Clifford the Big Red Dog at 63 episodes as Cleo, the purple French poodle character. She was Lillian Voss in World of Warcraft. She was Oriel in the Diablo series, The Angel, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to have to go back and listen to Oriel and see if I can tell it's Hylo Viz's voice actor in that one. She was Wuya in Xiaolin Chronicles. And this skips over more than 300 other credits that she's done, big and small. So quite a career Cree Summer has had. And so thank you to Cree Summer for being Hylo Visz.
Yeah, isn't she Treek as well?
No, that was someone else. Who was that again? I'm trying to remember. It was one of the ones we've actually done before, but we've done enough now that I can't just see it right away.
Right.
Let's see. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, no, Hylo is her big voice role in SWTOR. So yeah.
Nice. I also see that she's in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
One of my favorite shows.
I think, yeah. My wife has checked that out too, so she might be interested in that.
You got to watch it. It's great. It's so good.
I will have to check it out. It does sound like it would be fun. I haven't checked it out personally yet, so. But yeah, so I thought that was really awesome. And
yeah, very cool, Chill.
And now whenever I see Princess Kida show up, because it's a character that gets cosplayed a lot and kind of comes up here as characters who should be considered Disney princesses yet aren't. She's always on that list because she actually is a princess in Atlantis: The Lost Empire, but it is but it's not considered like a Disney princess sort of thing. And from a different world, so KB likes a different world, so she's on that too apparently. I have to pick these partly based on what I know, but I try to pick something the roles that hopefully a lot of people will recognize, but yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, it's kind of amazing how these voice actors do a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna have to definitely check out Oriel, especially the angel in the Diablo series, and see because I know that I'm pretty sure that the voice will also be sort of processed a lot. It'll be interesting to see if I can pick up on Hylo at all in that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that'll bring us to the Holo feed. Not a ton going on really, but we will talk about what there is. They did announce the in-game events for February. One of which is going to be pretty obvious because it's happening right now. Bounty Contract Week, the one you mentioned, Kitty. If you do that has the Bounty Hunter outfit.
Yeah,
it's on right now. Started on the 6th, ends on the 13th, and yeah, as long as your characters look level 15 or above, they can do that. That happens. It's in the cartel market part of the fleet is where it starts, but then it kind of takes you several places around the galaxy. But you can stick to level 15 if you need to go to Drummond Goss or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
For a while.
I got a tip.
Mm-hmm.
You can quick travel to the cartel bazaar on Fleet. I didn't know that until 3 years ago.
Okay.
So you don't have to take the elevator. You can just use your quick travel and boom, you're there. So.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah. And that reminds me, actually, they sell 2 dye.
Yes, they do.
2 dyes, not the dyes, but the way to make the dyes, the recipes, the schematics.
Yeah.
And I have one of them, but I do not have both of them. So I should probably do some bounty contracting this week. That would be good.
I got both.
You got both? I'm sure you do. Yeah. I got the pink one because I actually had some characters who needed pink looks, to cosplay properly. And
it was kind of funny because you got it right around the same time I did.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know anybody that had it. I would have been like, hey, chill, can I get like 10 of those things?
Yeah, exactly. Every once in a while I sell some. They sell pretty well in the GTN because like no one bothers to get them. Like they're not a lot of people have them. Yeah. The other event that's going to be coming up later this month is the All Worlds Ultimate Swoop Rally.
And there it is.
That's going to be the 20th to the 27th of February. And you can start that at level 20 because there's some stuff on like Tatooine and so on. But there's several planets where you get to actually do races and gain several different kinds of reputation. There's mounts and gang outfits and mini pets and decos and all the good stuff that you expect from most of the events. And
a couple tacticals too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's right. The tactical that lets you mount faster. So if you ever if you ever know you're just going to do a lot of like jumping on your mount and running, like if you're going to just go and gather materials or something.
Yeah,
that's not a bad tactical to have at all.
It is awesome.
I do not have it. I should get it, but I do not have it.
It's great.
And let's see. In other news, there was an operations bug in the game that would sometimes switch a master mode phase down to a veteran mode under certain conditions.
Ouch.
And they figured out a fix for it, and they did do like a downtime where everything had to be brought down for like 30 minutes. That they did, and then brought it back up. It apparently worked. So not much more to say about that, except hopefully anyone who was working on master mode operations weren't too badly put out. And then posted yesterday, this is also more about the specular dies. The enhanced die packs that debuted with 7.4. Initially, we announced that they'd be available over the holiday break. We saw a lot of feedback wanting them made available more often, so we're testing out how often they appear on the cartel market. Some of you have noticed a couple of them reappeared throughout January, which was true. To give players a chance to purchase the dies, we'll be releasing all the enhanced die packs for a week beginning February 6th. So we have 1 week now to get these. The metallic black, matte black, all those golden, chrome white, and so on. Pearlescent red, metallic black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the black and black are pretty cool, of course, but the pearlescent red and metallic black, and the vice versa, the metallic black and pearlescent red, really look good on a lot of armors.
Yeah, that red looks amazing.
Yeah, and they said after February 13th. So once we have this 1 week right now, and then after that, they will be available 2 at a time on a weekly rotation on the cartel market. So you'll still be able to get them, semi often, but there's only a 1 in 3 chance that the one you want is going to be on sale that week, since there's 6 of them and they're going to be available 2 at a time. I presume the same duos that they've been doing, where the white, black, and then red, black versions are sticking together. I don't see why they wouldn't do it that way, because that's how they've been doing it. And let's see. And there was also some back-end maintenance. It went fine. They didn't even have to take down the servers for it.
No.
But it's always possible when they do this, so they always make an announcement when they are, because it's sometimes when they're doing this back-end maintenance, you can sometimes have log-on issues. But apparently it is complete. It was completed, and I didn't notice any issues or anything like that. Finally, rest in peace to Carl Weathers, best known as Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies, certainly, but who was also Grief Karga on The Mandalorian, all the seasons of The Mandalorian. He was 76 years old and did a heck of a good job on The Mandalorian. So,
rest in peace, Carl Weathers. I was a little stunned when I heard that. I was really bummed out because, I mean, Carl Weathers has had a great career.
But right, with the Predator and everything else.
Something about having him in the Star Wars universe and him being a superstar when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome. That's good. I'm glad his career, he's still doing well into his 70s, but
yeah,
I was just like, oh man, another character from the Mandoverse that has passed away. It's just, or the Filoniverse, I guess, Favreau Filoniverse.
Right.
That
is sort of corner.
I was really bummed out. But
yeah,
thanks
exactly.
for all
Me
the
too.
good stuff.
Yep.
76 is a good ride.
Not bad. And he, by all, like, I've always heard, not even just at the time of his death, but well before that, I've always heard how he was always just a good guy when he was always good to fans, had a good personal life and all that good stuff. So seemed to be an all around very good guy, and sorry to see that he's gone.
Yeah.
And is there anything else going on, Kitty? Do you have anything going on with your stream for Insample?
Negatory.
Okay. Sounds
Negative.
Good. So I guess that's a show. If you'd like to play with us that was less than, that was beyond awkward. That was all the way to ugly. If you'd like to play with us in the Utini Knights Guild on the Republic side of the Satil Shan server, or in our
Rage
Guild on the Empire side, do a join Utini to join the Utini channel. Then let us know you're a fan of the show. You can email questions and comments about the show to OotiniCast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter using @OotiniCast, or Mastodon @OotiniCast@Mastodon.world. You can find contact details from us on our website, OotiniCast.com, which includes how to subscribe using iTunes and the rest. We record the show live bi-weekly Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, streaming at twitch.tv/OotiniCast. Our theme song is Doomsday by Jean-Paul Zogby. And thank you to the chat room.
Thank you, Chad, for being here.
And we'll see you next show.
Have fun defending or destroying the galaxy.
That's right. Do you think they'll survive? It would take a miracle. All right. And do you have someone that we should raid, Kitty?
Oh, crap. Let me take a looky-loo.
Let me get over to the part where I can actually do that.
The
ye old stream manager.
Stask. STASK 27.
Okay. STASK. Huh.
27.
I must have misspelled that. Okay.
It's a weird
ES
STASK.
Oh, okay. 27. Okay, I see him.
Correct. Yeah, he's a good guy.
All right, I will start the raid then. Here we go. Thank you, folks, for coming.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, and we'll be ready to go in just a couple seconds here. Since you say he's a good guy, I'll also add him. I'll also follow him so he shows up on the list too.
Yeah,
here we go.
And
let me go over to that twitch.tv. Stask 27. And I'm going to stop the stream and stop the recording.